Hello and welcome to the StudioX Working with Files and Folders automation demo. In this video, we'll learn to automate moving several files from a specific folder location to another, whilst also renaming them. To build our project, we'll focus on the File section under the Activities panel, where we'll find all of the actions needed to complete the automation. Before starting our demo, let's understand what file automation is. File automation is the automation of tasks that you perform with files and folders on your computer, such as copying or renaming files and folders, creating. This comes in handy when you need to batch rename, move or organize multiple types of files in a clever and efficient way. We can observe that all of the actions within the File section cover the same operations for both files and folders. Let's get started with our demo to understand better how we can make use of this feature. We have already created a project with the name Moving and Renaming Files. We can see it by clicking the Project option from the ribbon and then selecting Project Settings. As the title suggests, the aim is to move several files from a folder, in our case a couple of invoices, to a specified location, namely a client-dedicated folder. While moving these files, we'll also add the client's name and the issuing date. Let's start by iterating through these files, since one of our goals is to make changes for each of the files that we want to move. We will drag a For Each File in Folder activity and indicate the location where our files are saved, namely the Invoices folder. Next, we'll select Project Notebook from the ribbon and then open Project Notebook. As you can observe, the Project Notebook is an Excel workbook that uses formulas for data manipulation and calculations. The data entered in the notebook when the automation is running will be used for different operations, but the resulting data won't be saved. The Project Notebook is by default saved in the project folder. Its main purpose is to make certain operations easier for the robot at runtime. These may include converting the date to different formats or extracting pieces of text. You should avoid saving information in it during the development, especially if it's sensitive. In this automation, we'll be using the file sheet of the Project Notebook. Here, we can see details like file name, file extension, and the folder in which we have our files saved. Now let's close this and go back to our project where we search for a new activity, namely the Write cell. We drag it into our sequence, click on What to Write, select Current File, and then Full Path. And for the Where to Write field, we select Project Notebook and then File followed by Full File Name. Let's take a minute to think about what we want the robot to do. Our goal is to rename the files by including the client name and the date. To do that, we will have to tinker the formula in the Project Notebook. More specifically, we will edit the formula for the reformatted file name. Because we want the client's name and the date to appear after the file name, in the corresponding cell for file name no extension, we will add ampersand, between quotes, underscore client name, underscore, ampersand again, and the formula for date. All right, let's close this, run the workflow, and then open the Project Notebook again to see what details have changed inside the file sheet compared to how it was in the beginning. We can see that there are some updates to the file sheet. This means that our robot has processed the changes successfully. Now let's go back to the Designer panel. We also want the renamed invoices to be moved into the designated folder. For this, we will use the Move File activity. Next, we'll select the folder from which we want to move our files, in our case, Current File, Full Path. The new destination for these files is the Parker Industries client folder. So we select Folder and then open the text builder. We add a backslash and enter the client name folder. Backslash again and then press the plus icon on the right. Choose Project Notebook, File, File name no extension.pdf, and hit Save. Now let's see if it works. Hit Run again and notice what happens. That's it, it works. The files are in the Parker Industries folder and renamed with the client's name and issuing date. And that was it for today. Thanks for watching.